Every morning, the world rises with movement, but not all movement is progress. Many people wake up and immediately surrender to distraction, to fear, to urgency, but a disciplined life begins with a disciplined mind. A peaceful life begins with powerful thoughts. When you open your eyes, you are not just waking your body, you are awakening your spirit, and if you wish to master your day, you must begin by mastering the moment you rise. When you open your eyes in the morning, you are given something many others were not, another chance, but most people overlook this moment. They rush, they scroll, they complain. The mind is pulled outward before it ever looks inward. That is why it is essential to begin each day by recognizing the simple fact that you are here, that you are breathing, that your heart is still beating. This is not something small, it is everything. Because without this awareness, all other goals, plans, and ambitions mean nothing. Gratitude is not a soft emotion, it is a foundation for strength. When you start your day by connecting to presence, you build an unshakable platform beneath your feet. You don't need to think about everything you lack. Instead, you awaken to what you already possess. Your breath, your awareness, your opportunity to try again. This is the ancient wisdom, that contentment is not born from having more, but from seeing clearly. When you ground yourself in the now, your worries about the future lose their power. When you acknowledge the gift of life itself, even the smallest acts become meaningful, and from this place, your mind sharpens, your emotions settle, and your energy becomes focused. This is not simply about feeling good. It is about starting the day rooted in truth. From that truth, clarity comes. From clarity, action, and from action, progress. Gratitude and presence are not passive. They are the most active disciplines of all. Each morning, before the world begins to demand, pause and give yourself this: I am alive, I am here, and that is enough to begin. Everything else will grow from this soil of awareness. Without it, you are a leaf in the wind. With it, you are the master of your morning. Every morning, your energy is like a clean, still pool. What you allow into it determines whether it remains clear or becomes disturbed. Many people wake up and immediately give away their power checking messages, reacting to news, absorbing noise before they've even formed a single intentional thought. But the truth is simple: your energy is your responsibility. No one else can manage it for you. If you don't protect it, the world will shape it for you, and usually not in your favor. Taking ownership of your energy means deciding who and what gets access to your inner space. It means setting the tone before the world imposes one on you. This is not about isolation. It is about clarity. You don't need to control everything that happens around you, but you must control what enters you. When you wake up and affirm that your energy is yours to direct, you begin the day with authority rather than anxiety. You no longer move as a reaction to circumstances, but as the creator of your experience. It begins with awareness: how you speak to yourself, how you breathe, how you carry your body. Every small choice shapes the energy you bring into the day. The way you think in the first 10 minutes of your morning often echoes throughout the next 10 hours. This is why the practice of intentional thoughts, stillness, and inner discipline is not a luxury. It is a necessity. It is not selfish to protect your energy. It is sacred, because everything you give to the world, your words, your actions, your presence, comes from that energy. If you do not guard it, it becomes diluted, scattered, and weak. But if you protect it with mindfulness, it becomes focused, steady, and unshakable. And from that place, everything you do carries purpose. Most people live in reaction. They wake up already pulled by demands, expectations, and noise from the outside world. Their actions are not deliberate, they are reflexive. But living like this is like walking blindfolded through a storm, always moved by external winds, never by internal direction. When you move with intention, you choose your path instead of being pushed by others. Intention is the quiet force that transforms ordinary movement into meaningful action. It is the difference between acting out of clarity and reacting out of confusion. A Shaolin warrior does not strike first. He observes, he waits, He chooses the right moment with precision. This is not hesitation. It is mastery. You must carry this same approach into your daily life. Before you speak, breathe. Before you respond, pause. When you act from that space of calm awareness, your choices carry more weight. Your presence becomes stronger. You no longer waste energy on things that don't matter because you are no longer chasing the approval or attention of others. You are rooted in purpose. Intention does not mean everything will be easy, but it means everything you do will have meaning. You can walk into discomfort and still be at peace because you are choosing to walk. This is how you take control of your life, not through force, but through mindfulness. When your actions align with your deeper values, even the smallest steps become powerful. It is not about how much you do, but about why you do it. In a world that rewards speed and reaction, your strength will come from stillness and purpose. Let others be fast, you be clear. Let others be loud, you be focused. Every action that comes from intention is a step closer to mastery. This is the way of inner strength. Challenges are an unavoidable part of life. No matter how carefully you plan, how disciplined you become, or how much wisdom you gather, obstacles will appear. But the way you perceive those obstacles defines everything. Most people see difficulties as punishments, as setbacks meant to stop them. But in reality, every obstacle is an invitation. It invites you to grow, to become stronger, to deepen your understanding of yourself. Without resistance, there is no strength. Without discomfort, there is no transformation. A seed must crack open to grow. A sword must be forged in fire. Likewise, your character is formed not when things are easy, but when things become uncomfortable. That is where your training begins. When something difficult enters your path, you can choose to resist it with frustration or to greet it with curiosity. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? What part of me needs to evolve to move through this? The Shaolin philosophy teaches that the obstacle is not the enemy. Your fear of it is. The challenge itself is neutral. It is your reaction that gives it power. When you approach difficulties as tests of your spirit, something shifts inside you. You stop avoiding them and start respecting them. You begin to understand that the obstacle was placed before you not to block your path, but to become part of it. Each one is a mirror, revealing where you are still attached, reactive, or afraid. And when you face it with courage, you reclaim energy that would have otherwise been lost. You become calm in chaos, steady in resistance. That is when your progress becomes real, because you are no longer waiting for ease. You are training within the storm. And from that, unshakable strength is born. The body and mind are not separate. They are deeply connected, each reflecting the condition of the other. Your body is the physical expression of your inner state, and your mind is shaped by the condition of your physical form. When you neglect one, the other suffers. That is why it is essential to treat your body as a temple and your mind as your sharpest tool. Many people take their body for granted until it begins to fail. They feed it with convenience rather than care. They move only when forced, rest only when exhausted, and treat discipline like punishment. But the body is not your servant. It is your partner. It carries you through every experience, every challenge, every success. Honoring it through movement, nutrition, and rest is not vanity, it is respect. And when you train your body with discipline, you are also training your mind. Each repetition, each controlled breath, each stretch is a lesson in presence. The more in tune you become with your physical form, the more stillness you create in your thoughts. A weak body makes it easier for the mind to become restless. A neglected body invites disorder into the mind. But a body that is cared for becomes a channel for clarity, energy, and focus. The same applies to your mind. What you consume mentally, your thoughts, your focus, your inner dialogue, builds the mental environment in which you live. Feed it with negative thoughts, and you become weighed down. Train it with purpose, and it becomes your ally. You must guard both body and mind like sacred ground. They are not tools for pleasure alone. They are instruments for fulfilling your purpose. To master your path, you must strengthen your foundation, and that foundation is your body, your mind, and the discipline that unites them. The first thoughts you allow into your mind each morning have the power to shape your entire day. That quiet moment just after waking is not just a transition from sleep to activity. It is a gateway. It is the space where you either step into clarity or slip into chaos. If you begin your day passively, absorbing whatever noise or negativity comes your way, you surrender your direction. But if you start by speaking with purpose, by choosing thoughts rooted in strength and awareness, you are setting a clear tone for your future. Morning is not just a routine, it is a ritual. The mind is most open when it is free from distraction, and this openness gives you an opportunity to program your thoughts, your emotions, and your energy. Every word you tell yourself becomes a signal to your subconscious. It becomes instruction, not suggestion. Saying things like "I am focused," "I am strong," or "I am capable" is not about empty motivation. It is about aligning your inner world with the direction you want to walk. This practice is not about pretending life is perfect. It's about choosing how you want to show up in an imperfect world. That choice, made early in the day, creates momentum. It shapes your behavior, your responses, your focus. And over time, it shapes your identity. When you command your morning, you are not reacting to life, you are leading it. You are no longer driven by outside influence, but guided by internal clarity. This is how the future is built, not by waiting for it to happen, but by preparing for it, step by step, thought by thought, from the very first breath of the day. Speak with intention, think with power, and your future will rise to meet your discipline.